What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. So, I want to give you guys some updates and also chime in on a certain subject. And Canelo Kirkland, they weighed in Houston. They both came in at the same weight, 154.5. So, we have a fight. Looking forward to that happening tomorrow on HBO. Also, Canelo did an interview stating he wanted a rematch with Floyd Mayweather. He said this: I would love it, a rematch with Mayweather. It would interest me. I've learned more things. There's more experience. So I want to give my 2 cents about the whole idea of a rematch with Canelo. And on my channel, I keep it real like I always do. I'm not going to falsify something. And I like Canelo. I like Canelo as a fighter. But I have absolutely no interest in watching a Canelo Floyd Mayweather rematch at all. Like it doesn't interest me in the least. I think there's better fights out there for both. For example, Canelo, if he is to get past James Kirkland, fights with Triple G, Miguel Cotto is a blockbuster fight, Demetrius Andrade. These are all great fights. Mayweather, Keith Thurman, Kell Brook, Amir Khan, all these fights are more interesting. And I'm not really hard to figure out when it comes to this boxing. I'm very consistent. As far as rematches, I'm not a big fan of rematches unless they absolutely need to happen. For the most part, for me as a viewer, you have to explain to me why we're watching a rematch. There has to warrant something has to be done in the first fight to warrant a rematch for me. It's just like watching a movie and it's good, but there's no real reason for a sequel. So to me, this doesn't require a sequel based on what I've seen in the first fight. Again, you have to explain to me. Now, the only exception for me is situations like, let's say the betting favorite got upset and lost. Okay, maybe make a rematch in the case of like Adrian Broner versus Marcos Maidana. Broner being the betting favorite. A lot of people picked Broner to win, and he lost and got beat up by Maidana. So I'd be open to a rematch like that. Or if the fight is competitive, like Danny Garcia, Amir Khan, where it ended in 4 rounds, but Amir Khan looked really sharp the first 2 rounds, and then Danny Garcia took over rounds 3 and 4. Plus, you have to look at their current position, and Amir Khan seems to be getting better with Virgil Hunter. His last 2 performances were great. Danny Garcia, his last 3 performances, 2 of them have ended in controversy with Herrera and Peterson, where people thought that Garcia should have lost those fights. When the betting favorite wins in a dominant fashion over the underdog and it's one-sided, that really doesn't warrant a rematch in my opinion. Like, what's the point? What am I watching it for? Then this is the other thing, just like the Con Garcia example. If anything, in the last 3 fights of Danny Garcia's career, he's had trouble with the boxers. Con has been boxing the more educated fight, not staying in harm's way too long, things like that. Versus Canelo, the closest style to Mayweather since Mayweather was Edeslandi Lara, and he won that fight via controversial decision. And I personally had Lara winning for the simple fact I thought Lara in those early rounds he was outboxing Canelo. Canelo made an adjustment and started taxing Edeslandi Lara's body, which was good, and it got him like I don't think Lara liked that body work, and it got him backing up and on the move, and he wasn't throwing that much offense, and he didn't counter like he needed to, and it made the fight closer than it could have been because again, once Canelo started ripping to the body, Lara got on his bicycle and he wasn't countering as much. He didn't have as much of an offense in the second portion of that fight, making it closer. So I gave it to Lara based on his early work, but it became a close fight. But either way, it wasn't a dominant performance by Canelo or Lara. Neither one really just said, I'm the true best at 154 because there was no separation. It was a close fight. And that's how it was scored. That's why you got the mixed opinions of what happened in the fight. So when I look at that, and here's an ego fun fact. In the Canelo Lara fight, Canelo landed 31 headshots in 12 rounds. So to me, that signifies if you're a slicker style and you have some head movement like Lara, like Floyd Mayweather, then it's going to create that moving target and be harder. If you look at Canelo versus Angulo, he looked great. Angulo's slow and stationary versus a guy who's mobile, good ring IQ, ring generalship. Lara has a crazy left hand. Mayweather has a crazy right hand. They're both like elusive. Mayweather's more cat-like than Edeslandi Lara, in my opinion. So to me, I just don't see anything that stipulates that Canelo has improved to the point where he's going to beat Floyd Mayweather in a rematch. If anything, history has proven that the guys that got rematches, which is very few, that got rematches with Floyd Mayweather, they actually did worse the second time. Castillo, the first fight, debatable. Second fight, you can't debate anything. It was clearly a Mayweather win, right? You look at the Maidana fight. First fight, some people had it a draw. I didn't see it like that. I thought Floyd clearly won that fight too. In a good competitive fight, Maidana gave him a run for his money, but I clearly seen Floyd winning that particular fight. But you look at the rematch, and Maidana had one good round with one good punch at the end of the round. You know what I mean? So Floyd shows that separation, especially when he computes and collects that data on you. So ultimately, I just don't see what Canelo has. It might be an issue of he doesn't have the skill, not even, you know what I mean? You can't teach experience. It's been 2 years since they fought, but you can't teach certain things like reflex, and you can't give them more experience. It's not like a clay mold where you could just add whatever you want and sculpt Canelo. Canelo kind of fights the way he fights in spurts, and I just think Mayweather's ring IQ is too high. He's too elusive, too cat-like, and it'll be more of the same, if not worse, for Canelo. So I really don't have an interest. And another thing that makes me believe that is you look at Mayweather's performance versus Pacquiao. Some people, I'm not impressed, man. Yeah, because you wanted Mayweather to get knocked out. But I've never seen Pacquiao land 81 of his punches in a fight, in a 12-round fight. He only landed 81. That's like a career low for Manny Pacquiao. So again, if you got a guy like Manny Pacquiao who's explosive, he's known for speed, footwork, power, and a southpaw, and Mayweather reduced him to landing only 81 punches, a much slower, bigger guy like Canelo, what kind of chance is he going to have? If Pacquiao, who's smaller than Mayweather and faster footwork than Canelo, could only land 81 punches, and again, you guys can blame it on the shoulder if that's what you want. Fact is fact. I'm going off what I've seen. And he landed 81 punches. And even if his shoulder was a problem for it, he wasn't even in range most of the fight to get off of his shots. Mayweather was just too agile and giving him too many different looks. So ultimately, I like Canelo. I haven't really seen any improvement to the point where I would say, you know what, this is the style that he can beat now, unless Mayweather were to get older overnight. And then last thing I'll say is a lot of people are sleeping on James Kirkland. I did pick Canelo to beat James Kirkland. However, James Kirkland, if he's fully focused and mentally strong, and he has a good relationship, good advice and stuff from his team, from his new team and his coach and whatnot, he has the potential to pull the upset and or the potential to put Canelo in a tight spot that we haven't seen, because I think this is the first time we're seeing Canelo in with somebody who's generally right around his size with power, with a good power. And in fact, I think James Kirkland probably has more thudding single shot power than Canelo. Canelo has good hand speed, strong, good power, but I think James Kirkland might have more power. Like you've seen what happened. James Kirkland versus Angulo versus Canelo versus Angulo. Now, I'm not talking about, because I already told you Canelo's the smarter fighter than James Kirkland. But if you look at those two fights, I'd never seen a moment. Angulo got gun shy, so that's a testament to Canelo's power. But he stopped him in a different fashion than what James Kirkland did. James Kirkland beat down Angulo, and I believe it was an undefeated Angulo, and he beat him into submission a lot more than Canelo. Some people even complained in the Canelo stoppage, saying that they wanted the fight to go on. Angulo complained, and I think he started crying and stuff because he thought it was a premature stoppage. So totally different stoppages, and I think Kirkland probably has more single shot power than Canelo. So if he attacks him and is smart, this could be a good fight of the year type candidate. I'm going to stick with my prediction of Canelo winning the fight, but I think he should focus on Kirkland tomorrow before he starts even thinking about a Mayweather. And I think he should get Mayweather out of his mind. There's other good fights, Demetrius Andrade. There's guys like Cotto, blockbuster fight, Triple G. These are all good fights if Canelo is able to get past Kirkland. But I would definitely worry about Kirkland, and I would scratch Mayweather off the list. Just take it as a learning lesson, because I don't see him beating him. That's my opinion. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like my video. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.